Let me go ahead and we'll get started. I'm Dawn Duvall. I'm an independent demonstrator standing up, and I have been doing this craziness going on. It'll be 13 years, 11, 12, 13, right? No, 11, 12, 13, 14. No, I think it'd be 14 years next month. At the end of this month, 1st February, whatever. Anyways, it's been a long time. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad that I am back. Hopefully, I've got my system set up that we can have without any interruptions and with no issues. Hopefully, you can see me. I think you can because at least I can see my face on camera. All right, so we're going to get started. We are going to work with one of the new stamp sets that you can get for free through our celebration. But first of all, I want to do the reminder we're at a new year now. I've changed the timing or at least the days of the week. I might be able to stream both on YouTube and Facebook at the same time. I'm going to look into that. But as it stands right now, the first and third Tuesdays, I will do Facebook Live. And then the second and fourth Tuesdays, I will do YouTube. Now, if I can get them, and they'll be Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Now, if I can get them to do both, then I will let you know and I'll just stream to both. I think I can, but I haven't tried that yet. So just be prepared. Okay. So two things to remember to remind you, and I will put it in the comments. I didn't load it in initially. As I said earlier last year, anytime you place an order through my online store, so anytime I do a live video, this doing cards in the week, the following Sunday, so this Sunday coming up, what's today? Tuesday. So this Sunday coming up, if you place a you might as well do $60 order in my online store, then you'll get celebration. And then I will send you the card kits for the cards that I'll be making this evening at no charge. And I'll send you duplicates. I'll send you 2 of each design. And so that will take place every week. So if we happen to do like this Friday's Creation Anticipation, is our Fundamental Friday, then you would get the cards for tonight as well as Friday. So that means you're going to get extra cards depending on the week that we do an extra video. So just keep that in mind. Minimum order is $50, but you might as well add $10 to that for celebration. $50 will get you my free kits that I'll send out to you. Add $10 more on something else to purchase, and then you'll get a free celebration item. So, all right. I am going to flip the camera down. I'm not going to go through the catalog, but the stamp that I'm going to be working with this evening is in our celebration catalog. So I'm going to flip the camera down. So give me just a minute so I can get it positioned. I'm going to flip it so I'm not upside down. And hopefully that's going to work. Let me get it on my table. Let's see. Are we switched? All right, hang on a minute. No, give me a second because it's still showing me. Oh, there we go. Now I'm upside down. Okay. I forgot it takes a few minutes. There we go. All right, give me a minute. I'm going to get in here and I need to adjust my lighting. So hold on 1 minute. Now I'm going to flip this. Hang on, I'm going to flip this. There we go. All right. It takes a little bit. So this is the part that I'm getting used to is the flipping the camera so that you can see everything right side up. And I'm going to hang on 1 minute. I'm going to adjust the lighting so we get some better lighting on the table. Let's see if that's doing anything for us. I've got a lot of light here, but it looks dark in my screen. But hopefully y'all can see. All right, let me move this up a little bit. Move this guy out here. Okay, maybe hang on a second. Let me just get this tuned down here. And we'll move this back so the light's shining. Okay. We are going to, it's this guy right here. Let me twist him just a little bit so we don't see his line. I didn't bring any vellum in here. Okay, I think we're good. All right, we will hide this piece right here. Give me a second. I'm going to see where it's at. And I can put the catalog on it or I can put the book. Okay, we're going to work with a celebration. This is running from January 7th through February 28th. Trying to get in the camera for you guys to see me. Hang on a minute. It's moving around on me. And any $60 order that you place through my online store, you can choose any item out of this catalog that is in the $60 range. So you've got this stamp set here, document the day. You've got this beautiful rainbow celebration kit on this side. You've got this beautiful fruit salad paper, and you can make all sorts of goodies with that. And then you've got the friendly seagulls. Of all things that we have things, pictures of are seagulls. Who would have thought we would have had a stamp for that, right? But they are kind of cute, even though they're, a pain in the you know what. Um, you can make fun of them, so that's a good thing. And then we have another day to celebrate stamp set that you can get. So there's a lot of choices we have. Then you can get the toadstool paper, which coordinates with one of our stamp bundles in the catalog. So there's a lot of choices that you have here. Pick a season. That's another one, and all of these are with us free with a $60 order. And then here you've got the dance with me. That will probably be my next one because I love to dance. I've always been a big dancer, and that's something I would love to work with. And then, of course, you've got this Bloom Impressions paper. We're going to work with that this evening. That's free, and you get 12 sheets, just like when you purchase it, 12.50. You get that for free. Then we move into the $120 category. So if you spend $120 or more in my online store, then you get to choose something. You can either choose two $60 items or 120. Now this one, the stamp is available. Bundle, the dies are on back order. They won't be until the end of this month. So just be aware of that. And then you can also choose this Corner and Bloom stamp set. And that's what we're going to be working with this evening. You guys, I'm telling you, if you place a $120 order, I highly encourage you to get this. There are so many opportunities you can do with this, and I'm going to give you some tips along the way. And look at some of these beautiful things that they've done using the corner stamps. It is absolutely beautiful. And then you can get and then this is if you want to join my crafting community, we have a great offer. You spend $99 plus tax, so let's just say $105, give or take, depending on what your state sales tax are. Free shipping, and you get to choose $125 in product. Plus, you have the option of getting this stamp set for free, and then choosing two sets of the Stampin' Write markers. So you could get a set of brights or a set of neutrals, a set of settles, and that's 20. That's 20 markers, and that's a $75. 75, yeah, that's a $75 value. Or you can do the 125 plus $30 in product. So you get $155. This one here is going to be more for your money for what you're doing. So keep that in mind. If it's something you're interested in, reach out if you have any questions. I'll be more than happy to help you. Okay. So with that being said, we're going to work with the Corner and Bloom stamp set. I absolutely have fallen in love with the stamp set, and I've only used it today. And I'll show you the cards that we're going to make, and then there's one extra card I did at the end, and we're probably going to use this again. We're going to work with this one here and this one. I did this one that you will see when I get done, but look at all these different areas and different things that we get to work with. All right, so let's get started, and I'm going to push this up a little bit so that I'm in the camera for some reason. Let me see if I can move this guy forward just a little bit more. I just want to make sure that you all have got a good position in the camera. All right, so we're going to do this one today and this one. But the first thing we're going to do is start with the long skinny one. And we're going to stamp, and I'll show you the card that we're going to make here in just a second. And you want to make sure you use a large block, or if you have a stamp positioning tool, kind of like the Stamparatus or a Missy. I do have one that I'm getting ready to put on for sale. And this is block E. So this is a good size block that you would need. Okay. All right. So we're going to I'm going to close this up for just a minute. I'm going to place this right here to kind of hide that line from the light. Now, this is the card that we're going to be making. I'll put that up here where you can see. Now, we're using one of the free papers right here. This is a peach pie cardstock, and that's cut at 4 4¼ by 11. And then you can see what I did is when I trimmed up my paper, I put a piece of white inside, and then I put a strip to coordinate with the in the outside. And then we're going to cut a 4 by 5¼ piece of the designer series paper. And then this here, I'm going to show you how to do this. This here is a 3 by 4 piece of basic white cardstock. So I cut the back of this paper, and I'll show you right here. This is the back side. And what I did is I cut that at like 3 1/8 by 4 1/8, and I put it right underneath as, if you can see that, I placed it right under here. And then I popped the white piece up, the cardstock up on dimensionals, adhered that to that piece of designer paper, and then I glued that down. But before we do all that, we're gonna stamp and color. All right, so that's what we're gonna be working with. So the first thing we're gonna do is let me get my paper out that we need, okay? So again, we're gonna work with the peach pie. I'm gonna move that out of the way. Again, it's 4¼ by 5½. This thing looks awful wide for 4¼ doesn't it? Let me check that. I hope I cut it right. 4¼ I didn't score it. So typically you should score. So let's go ahead and bring our paper trimmer in, and we'll do it good so we can get a good score on that. All right, so I'm just going to lay that right here. And let's push this in here because this will give us a nice, let me just make sure that this is 4¼ yeah, hang on, I need to trim this. It's a little bit wider. I thought it looked kind of wide, so let's trim that piece off right there. Okay, I thought it looked a little wide. All right, now we're going to trim this, and we're going to score this at 5¼ All right, so we're going to do 5¼ I'm going to hold this up because I need to get my blade up there. All right, so we're going to do 5¼ 5½ is what we want it scored at. So we're just going to give it a good score so that we can crease our, fold our card. So let's go ahead and get that done. And then we will add, so make sure you get it all the way to the ends, right? We want to make sure it's all lined up. And then we're going to give it a good crease using our bone folder. We're going to go this way. And I'm going to place that paper right here. I'm going to go ahead and glue this down, and then we'll start doing our stamping. So let's go ahead and glue this down. This is cut at 4 by 5¼ our typical base. Now, always make sure that you've got your paper going in the right direction because you can see the green. Those are some leaves in here, and I want to make sure we've got it going in the right direction. So I'm going to lay this down right here. And then I'm going to set this off to the side, and we're going to do our stamping and coloring. Okay, so that's the first thing we're going to do, and then we'll set that off to the side. All right, so there's that, our base of base. Okay, so we're going to come in with our 3 by 4 piece of basic white, and I am going to ink up this stamp right here. And what we're going to do is I'm going to lay it like that. It looks like it's, and I'm going to show you some other little tips that we're going to do too. All right, so we're going to go ahead and ink this up. We're going to make sure we get a nice cover of black on it, Memento black, because we're going to do some coloring. All right, so we're going to take this. Now keep in mind, you've got the short side and the long side. I'm going to turn it this way, and I'm going to bring in my ink one more time because I can see where I did not get enough ink. And I want to make sure that we've got enough on here. Okay, so we're going to line this up right along the edge. And this is what you're going to go right along the left edge or right edge, whichever works for you as far as when you place this down. So I'm going to put that right about like that. And then I'm going to push really hard and make sure you push in the corner because I have found a couple of times when I did this, I didn't give it enough pressure and my corner didn't come out. Okay. All right, so we've got that. Now we're going to pop this off. I'm going to take that off the stamp. Okay, so there's that. Now we're going to ink it up again, and we're going to come back and do the next side, and then we'll do some coloring. All right, so we're going to get it our, I think that looks like it's a little crooked. stamp looks like it's standing out. All right, so we're going to ink this up. And again, I just want to make sure I've got enough ink on here. All right. And then I'm going to do this. Now here, one of the things you can do, we're going to make a rectangle, which means we're going to place it on top of this over here in this area right here. And then it's going to come down to here. Now, if you want to do a square, then we would just do it like that, overlap. You'd make a little, your square obviously would be square and it would go like this. But we're going to make this a rectangle. So I'm going to line this up right along the edge here. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to push down and give it some good pressure. And then we're going to take that off. And then there is our rectangle of flowers. Isn't that cute? Okay, so let me clean this off real quick. I'm going to move this off the camera so it's not shaking the table with my notes. All right, now we're going to do some coloring. We're going to work with Daffodil Delight, Flamingo, Flirty Flamingo, Stampin' Blends, Peach Pie, and Granny Apple. So what I did, and you can do whatever you would like, I just went every third flower and colored them a different color. So I'm going to use my Daffodil Delight for the more look like a daisy type flower. And then the ones in between, I'll do one in Flirty Flamingo, and then the other one will be in Peach Pie. Okay. So I'm going to start with my dark, with my Daffodil Delight dark. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around all of the cards, all of this one flower, and I'm just going to pull in about halfway up the leaf because I want to have it dark. And then I'm going to come back in and pull it so there'll be some shading. Okay. So I'm going to do that on all of these that looks like a little daisy to me. I don't know what kind of flower that is. All right, so we've got 1, 2, and it's going to be this one. So I'm going to go through and do all of that. Now this is going to be a little time consuming, but it shouldn't take that long. And then I'll go 2 down, and then I'm going to come back down here, and I should be in line. So you should be able to see me. And then we're going to come back with our light daffodil, and then we're going to pull this color out and give it a little bit of a definition, if you will. Okay. So we're just going to come in, and you choose whatever colors you want, but I thought I'd use this because it goes with the paperwork, with the designer paper. All right, so again, I'm just making the dark daffodil right at the base of the flower, and that should be good. Now I'm going to come back with the light, and we're going to take that. Whoopsie, let me get this, let me put this over here. So I'm going to get that light so it's not shining in the way here. All right. So now I'm going to come back with the light, and I'm just going to pull the ink out or bring it in whichever way. And you notice how it gets lighter at the ends, right? So that's the whole idea. We want to show that it's darker in the center of the flower, and then we're going to pull that ink out towards the ends to give it a lighter effect on the tips, okay, of the petals. So we're going to just go around the flower, and we're going to do this for each flower that we have in the various colors that we're using for the coloring for each of the flowers. So see how it gives it that shaded type effect. So we're just going to pull it out and color in the tips again. And then I'm turning as I go because it's just easier. All right. Pardon me. Okay, and I think we got that done. All right, now we're going to come in and we're going to do Flirty Flamingo. So I'm going to move that. I'm going to take my Flirty Flamingo, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to start with my dark, and I'm using the small tip. So, and again, you can use whatever. I'm just picking whatever comes my way. All right, so we're going to do Flirty Flamingo. Same thing. We're just going to do little like halfway up the leaf or the flower petal, and I'm going to skip one, and then we'll come back with the light, and we'll be able to blend those to again to give it that effect that it's got a lot of darkness in the center, and then we're going to come up just a little bit. All right, and let's do that one, and then we need to do this one. So just put a little bit. This one has a little bit more black on it, but that's all right. And then we're going to come down one, and then we're going to do this one right here. All right, so again, this is the dark flirty flamingo. Okay, and hopefully y'all can see that. Get up here. All right, now I'm going to come back in with my light. Again, I'm using the small tip, and then I'm going to take that and start pulling out. And this is my, this is my light. And I'm just going to start pulling out the color. And we'll just keep moving it around. And we'll do this one. And you should be able to see a little bit of lightness on the ends of the petals. All right, and then we're going to come in here and do the same thing. Okay, and I think we've got all of those done, right? Looks that. Well, we've got one over here. Got to do this one. All right. And that's going to be, let me see my card for a second. Yeah. That's part of the leaf. Okay. All right. So I think we've got those done. And now we're going to come back in with our peach pie. And again, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do our dark. And we're going to come in here. And the same thing, we're just going to do some dark. And we'll do some dark here. And then the ones in the back, I'm just putting a little bit of touch on them, a little bit of color. And of course, you hear the dog snoring. Now she's going to think it's time to go outside to go to the bathroom. All right, so I'm just making these a little bit darker. You can't go anywhere, Barbara. You're stuck in here with me. All right, and now I'm going to come back with the light. Oops, I missed. No, I didn't. Where are we? Okay, so now we're going to come in with the light, and I'm just going to fill in the areas. And hope, whoops, I missed that one, didn't I? I did. All right, we'll come back. Oh, I missed two of them. How did I do that? All right, we'll just come back and get that one. No big deal. All right, so we got that, we got that, we got this one. Put our light in there, and let's come back to our dark. I missed this guy. I missed those two right there. I guess I was too busy looking at the dog. All right, so we're going to come in and do some dark here. And, you know, the more pressure you give, get it a little bit darker. That would make it show up a little bit better. So you can always go back to add your light color, and we may just do that. So let's go ahead, and we're just going to pull in the light, see how it brings it. So I'll just go back over the peach and the colors just so that we can see that difference. And that's right. Okay, so let's go back, and we'll take our darker colors, and I'm just going to do that on all the flowers. Just darken the bottoms again, just so it does give us that effect that there's a little bit, because they're so clustered, right? It's going to be darker. So we'll come back. This is the Flirty Flamingo. So we'll just come back again. I'm just going to do just towards the bottom of the Flirty, just so that it gives it that look. All right. And then we've got one more to do. So I'm only going to go up just slightly, not much, but just enough to show that we've got some depth there. All right. And then we'll come back in. I think we did good with that. Now we're going to work on our leaves. So we're going to go ahead and do our Granny Apple Green. And we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to come in with the dark Granny. Bear with me one second. I can get her out of here. Granny's a little difficult. Okay. So I'm just going to come up partially, and I'm going to kind of give it a little bit more pressure so that I can show that we're going to show some lightness towards the end. And then I'm coloring the stems. And then this little part right here. And we're just going to go back through again, and this is the dark. And then we're going to come back with the light. And we'll be able to show And I need to go back and color that little flower in because I missed those, right? And we'll just color them, whatever. All right. And so isn't this a cute set? I just see so much potential. Oh my gosh, you guys. I highly encourage you to, if you place an order to get this set. This is one I think I'm going to end up keeping and using because I think there's a lot of possibilities with this. All right, so again, I'm still with my dark rainy apple. I'm just going around trying to get into the bottoms of my leaves. And then we're going to come back with our light. And then these two little flower buds, I'm going to go back and color in with the color that the flower is. All right, so we're going to go ahead and just do the light. See the difference? By just pushing a little bit more, giving a little bit more pressure, it shows up lighter. And we're just going to go around and do all of that. And I'm just flipping the page. Isn't this pretty? And we'll go up here. And we'll do this one. And then we'll do that one. Let me flip it this way so I can see. That one, recommended here. I need to do this little guy right here. I think I need to get my other green apple. This one's starting to show up. All right, now see how they, you can see the difference. I'll bring them up to the camera in just a second. Let me go in here with our, I'm going to do the dark flirty, and I'm going to do this little flower right here, and I'll come back with, let's see, which one is this one? Okay, so there's the flirty. Let me go ahead and do, oh, where did it go? Flirty, flirty right here. I'm just going to do a little bit of light right there. And then we're going to come in with our peach pie because there's one right here that we missed. All right, so I'm going to put that there. And we'll add a little bit of the light on the end of this bud. All right, and then the last one, did we do them all? Oh, this one here that's a peach pie, isn't it? Yes, it is. And this is the dark, so let's go ahead and put that right there. And then we'll just come back in with a little bit of the light and fill in the top of that one. Okay, I think we've got all that. Oh, nope, we got one more. We got one flirty. Somehow I missed another flirty. Oh, I started painting it green. But that's all right. We'll go through that. Okay. Oops. And hang on a minute. Let's do this one. I forgot this guy right here. So you need to go back and check to make sure you've got all of the greens colored on your buds and all of that. And then I missed this one. See, sometimes you just kind of overlook them as you go. All right, so that's going to be the front of that card. Now, one thing we are going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to get my ruler. And if you noticed on my card, I did a line through here just to kind of put a border around the flowers. So I'm going to take my marker and I'm using the dark peach pie. I'm just coming right along the edge. I'm just lining it up. I'm eyeballing it. I'm not being exact. I'm just going to come in through here and draw a line just to kind of give it like a border. And I'm going to stop a little ways so I don't go all the way to the end, right? And then I'm going to do the same thing on all four sides. Now, if I come up over, I'm going to move it up just a little bit. And then I can always go back and fill in. Let me get it straight. I can fill in the corners. Okay. So I can go back and do that one, which would be easy enough. I can just go in and bring this guy up. Okay. And then I'm going to do it over here. Just something different, just to give it a different effect. And then I'm going to pull this one. This one's going to be a little bit closer to the edge because I don't want to really go through the flowers, but this will be fine. So just something that you can see. And then we'll do the one down here. And you don't have to do this. I just thought this would be something cute. All right, so we're going to line that up, and I'm just going to start and come down, and then I can just connect these as we go. And you're not really going to be able to see that anyways, as far as my lines being a little bit off. So that adds a little something to it. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we've got to stamp our sentiment. And I am using the Birthday Blooms for You. And that is, I'm going to stamp it in Granny Apple. And that is from the Textured Floral stamp set, just to let you know. All right, so we're going to stamp that right in the center. And then we will add some embellishments when we get done. So let's go ahead and get this inked up. And we'll go ahead and stamp this however we want that. Let's just put it right about here. All right, pretty good. Okay, so let's close this up. All right, and then I'm going to move all of this out of the way in just a moment. Put that right there for now. Okay, and bear with me 1 second. I'm going to clean my ink off. Okay, now I didn't clean that one very good, did I? Okay, so now we're going to put this together, and we're going to take our base that we have right here, and then we're going to go ahead and add this piece here is going to go right here, and then I'm going to pop this up on dimensional. So let's go ahead and do that, and I'm going to attach it to this, and then we will attach that like that, and then we'll glue that down. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut us some dimensionals. I'm using up my edges. Let's see, we need 4. All right, so let's get those on here. So we're just going to pop those down. Oh, here they go. And we'll probably put 2 in the center too. We never have enough dimensionals, right? We'll put one on kind of towards the center. Whoopsie. And then we'll cut this one. We'll just rip him off. All right. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take these off. All right. And then we are going to, all right, I'm going to put this on here. Now this is going to barely show. So we want to make sure we get it lined up because this is like 1/8 of an inch. Might be 1/4 of an inch. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. I think that looks good. We're going to lay it down. That looks fine. All right, and then we're going to attach this to the front of the card. And that's the same paper. It's just I'm using the back of it. So you've already cut the paper, so you might as well take advantage of using that back side, right? So we're going to lay that piece in flat like that. Get that up here so you can see it. And then we're going to add some embellishments. And these are the 2024 in color shimmer gems. I don't know if these are still if they're still in or if they're retired. I think they're still in, but I don't know. So, but we're going to use them. So I have this color here. I do have some of that. I don't know if that really isn't going to look as good because we didn't use that much of that. So I'm just going to put 3 of these little guys right on here. They're, I'm going to put one, actually, I'll just put a big one in the center. And then I'll put a little one on the edge on each end. How's that? Which hopefully it's centered. Close enough, right? Okay. So move this out of the way. All right, and then we're going to add our piece of white to the inside of our card. And I'm going to go ahead and add this piece that I cut. And I think I'm going to turn this one over. I don't know. We want it that way or this way? I think I like the yellow. So I'm going to put it like this, and then I'll trim it down. Okay. So let's go ahead and add our adhesive to this. And this is just one of the strips that I cut off when I was trimming off the paper. So we'll go ahead and add that. And we'll just do it like this. And we're going to have some of that hanging over, which is fine. And I'll just come in and trim that off. Make sure we've got it nice and even before we start cutting. And then that dresses up the inside of our card. Get the ruler out of the way. All right, now we'll move on to the next one. All right, so I'm going to take that, and we're just going to trim that right up the edge of the card. put him in the trash can and go ahead and add this piece. Oops, had to figure out where my glue holder was. All right, and then we're going to place that right inside here, and you are ready for your message. All right, and then there is our first card. Isn't that cute? All right, so let's move on to the next card. Let me move some of this stuff out of the way and all of these because I have another set. So let me bring that stuff in. We don't need the green, so let me move that out of the way. Give me 1 second. I'm going to clean out my box here. And then we're going to use a different flower. So let me put my previous stuff in here. That way it kind of gets out of the way. All right. Now this one, we're going to, let me put the blooms in there because I don't need that one. All right. So now I'm going to take, and that goes with that one. And I'll show you the card that we're going to make in just a minute. So let's pull out the next stamp that we're going to use. We're going to use this one right here. Put that there so we can hide that line. We're going to use this corner one, and we're going to make a different type of card. Okay, so let's take that one out. So that's this one right here. And I'm going to take this, and I need to clean this better. But I'm going to plop this one down. This is a corner one. So I'm going to lay that right here on this block. And I know that block's kind of big, but we're just going to go with it because that's the one that we have in here. All right. And let me show you. Hey, Karen, let me show you the card that we're going to be making. Now, this is a square card. So this is 4 1/4. Hang on, let me make sure. This is by 8.5 inches. And it's, 4 1/4 by 8.5. So we're doing like a square. It still fits in an envelope. And then I've cut a piece of petunia pop, and I'll give you the measurements. And then I used one of the stylish shaped squares, the largest one, which is like a 3-inch, and stamped. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to stamp that on there and then use a different piece of the designer paper. All right. So let's go ahead and move the stamp set out of the way. All right, now, here is our card base. So, and I've got my pieces already pre-cut and everything. So that's our envelope. And actually, let me put that right there. That might take away some of that lighting because that's driving me crazy. Hopefully that takes that away. All right, and then I got my embellishments. These embellishments, in case you're wondering, come from the paper pumpkin. So I always keep those guys because you never know when you might want to use something. So again, this is what we're going to be making. And then you open it up and then you'll have room to write your stuff on the inside. And if you have any extra paper, you can add to the inside to make it look pretty. But isn't that gorgeous? And all we're going to do is stamp this in the corners of this piece right here. All right. Now, if you don't have a die to cut out, then just cut a 3.5 inch square. So this one's actually 2 3/4, but a 3-inch square would probably be fine. So this is 2 3/4. And then my piece of petunia pop is 3 inches, a little over 3. It's like 3 1/16. Okay. And then my designer paper is 4. So it's 4 by 4. All right. And then we have our base that is 8 inches. So we're going to fold it in half, which would be 4 inches, or 4 1/4, I'm sorry. And we're going to go ahead, and this is on, for whatever reason, I didn't do this one on thick basic white. It's on regular basic white because I can feel it. But that's all right. All right, so we're going to give this a good burnish. All right, now this piece, this is what, that pretty paper, that's what this one looks like. Try to see if I can hide that. That's the back, or the front, if you will, and then this is the back side, and that's what we're going to place on our basic white. So let's go ahead, and we're going to add this nail. So let's get this on the card, and we're going to set the card off to the side, and we're going to go ahead and stamp and color our flowers. Now, one thing about the coloring, just remember, and I'm going to show you on one of these cards that I did prior to the today. You want to use very similar colors to pull in that darkness as you're building up the flower. So just keep that in mind. All right, and I'm going to put this right here because I'm going to think hopefully that will take up the white, take up the spot where that is. So we don't have to see that light. All right, but I'm going to move this guy out of the way. All right, so now we're going to come in with our white square and we're going to stamp our corner flower. So let me get up there so you can see. All right, so I'm going to stamp it. I'm going to make sure I get a lot of good ink on it, get good coverage. All right, so we want to make sure we've got good ink coverage on it. And then make sure, again, like I said before, we want to stamp and hold it down really well. Now we're just going to use this like a square, but we want to put this up in the corner. So you just want to kind of eyeball where it's going to go. And then we're going to press down and we're going to push really firm. This is when a stamp positioning tool would come in handy. So if you have a MISTI or one of the stamp apparatus, use that. All right, so we're going to just push that down, make sure we get good coverage. Okay, so there's one. And now we're going to ink this up a second time. And this is using our Memento Black ink. All right, and make sure we get it nice and covered. And again, this set you can get with a $120 purchase in my online store. And then again, we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to position this up in the corner. And I want to get it as far up to the corner that I can go. And then I'm going to make sure I've got it centered and set it down. And go ahead and give it some good pressure. I don't remember the last time I've used such a big block, you know. All right, hopefully that's got it down. There we go. Okay, so that's good. Now we're going to start coloring. You can color these whatever you want. I'm going to use Berry Burst. Of course, we are going to use the Granny Apple. Let me grab that back out of here. I threw him in here without thinking. We're going to do that for our leaves, Granny Apple leaves. And then I have Highland Heather, the light and dark. And then I also have the Fresh Freesia, light and dark. So it's whatever you want to do. I'm going to come in and I'm going to try to, you can see the colors. I think what I'm going to do, this is the Fresh Freesia. I think I'm going to use the light and I'm going to use the dark of the, the dark Fresh Freesia and the light Highland Heather. See the difference in the coloring? So that's going to be my, how I'm going to do my shading. I'm going to do that on the, you can do however you want. I'm going to do that in the bunches, like here. And I think I'll probably do some of these in the Berry Burst, like down here, and then do some lighter ones, okay? So again, I'm going to take my marker. I'm taking the dark one, and I'm just going to do the ones, I'm going to do this group right here. So I'm just going to start with the petal. And again, right towards the center, I'm just going to do some really dark coloring so that I can get some shading when I come in with my light freesia. Okay, so we're going to do that. And I'm going to put some here. And it's kind of hard to figure out where the flower is, right? So you're just going to have to really pay attention. I think probably some of these I might have colored something different, but that's probably a leaf right there. Looks like a flower to me. So we're going to come in and, whoops, put that in the wrong spot. So I'm just putting some dark spots where I think it needs to go. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And then I'll come back and color with my light. Just again, to give it that dark color in the center and then come back with a lighter color and just pushing it out. And we'll just do a little bit like that and do some more. It's kind of hard when they're so small, right? Trying to figure out where's the leaf. I mean, where's the, the flower, right? All right, so we're going to go with that for now, and then we'll adjust as we go. So now I'm going to come back in. Now I'm coming in with the fresh freesia, which is the light. And then I'm just going to kind of pull out. And that one, see how that one kind of makes it look like it's darker, doesn't it? So let's see. That's the fresh freesia. Let's try the, I'm sorry, that's the Highland Heather. Let's try the fresh freesia light, and let's see what that does. Maybe that'd be a better. See, that kind of blends with the other one. So let's see. That might be better because you can see a difference in the coloring, right? Yeah, I think this one's going to be better. So let's do Highland Heather. I'm going to put this one away. This one's a little bit darker. So let's go with the fresh freesia. And this is the light because you can definitely see um, a difference in the when we pull it out from the center part where we did our darkening, right? And there's a little thing right there that we've got to color. And what is that? I'm not sure what this is. That one we need to color green. We got this piece here. And I think these are parts of the flower. And I'm not sure what that is. I think that's that might be part of the stem. All right, and then we'll come over here and do the same thing on this end. All right, and then looking at the time, just to let y'all know, we're probably going to go over a few minutes, but that's all right. Okay, so we're going to get all this done. And this is the time-consuming part, is just trying to color all these flowers, right? So now we're going to come back. I've got the berry burst, so let's go ahead and do berry burst, and then we'll come back in and do some other of the Highland Heather and stuff. So let's do some berry burst, like right here on the edge. See how dark that is? We don't need to do a whole lot. And then we're going to come in probably with one of the fresh freesias and pull that out. We probably could do it with the, let's do some more up here. That's a cluster. Let's see, what's this one? Let's do this one. And let's do these right here. I'm just going to put a little bit of this berry burst on it. Oops. I need to be doing the center, and I'm putting them on the outside. Right? But you'll get the gist of it. Okay, let's see. Let's put another, and those I think, let's see, what do we want? We need some more. Let's do a couple more. Let's do these right here at the bottom. We'll do this one because they're in the same group. And let's do this one. All right, so then we'll come over here and do the same thing, and then we'll come back with the light. So we'll do this one. And again, you color however you want to color these, right? And then we're just going to come in right towards the center and go out just enough that we can each petal. And then we're going to come back with the other color. All right. And then we'll do this one over here, and then we'll come back with the other color. So we'll just do these. We'll do here. And they're so tiny, so it doesn't take a lot of pressure to get the ink on there. And let's see, we'll do these right here, and then that one we'll do a different color. So we're just going to come in and pop these up. Right? And put that one there. Okay. All right, so let's cover this one. And now let's come in with our fresh freesia. Whoopsie, sorry. And let's pull that out and see what that looks like. Now, see, isn't that pretty? See how you can see the difference on here because it's such a distinct color. So this allows us to show how it's dark on the center, but as the flower is getting, growing, right, we're starting to see the other lighter shades come out. So that's really pretty. That looks really nice. All right, so let's just go in here and do the same thing. We're just going to just color, and I'll come back in with the green and do our leaves when we get done with the other colors. I like that color. I think that looks good. What do y'all think? Whoops. And that one we have a line. All right, so we got these to do, and then we'll come back and do some more of the um, fresh freesia and the Highland Heather. So see how it's showing darker with a dark center? I missed that one right there. Okay, oh, we got these to do. So you got to go back and check because sometimes we miss them. Riley, you can't go out, baby. You got to stay in here. I got the door shut, and now, of course, she wants to go out. All right, so did I get everything? We'll go back and double check. But see how that's going to look? All right, so let's go now. We did that. I like those. Let's go back with our dark Highland Heather. Let's see what that does with the dark Highland Heather. And maybe that we can do those two. So let's go in here. I can see where I've missed something right there. All right, so let's just do the dark Highland Heather. So you can see how dark that is, right? Just do a little circle in here. And we'll do the same thing with these so that we can pull the color out. And then we're going to turn it. So we're just going to do a little bit of the leaves. And these are so tiny. It's a little time consuming, but it's okay. All right, and we'll do the same thing with these. And then I'll come back in with my granny apple and we'll get our leaves colored. And then we'll come in here and we'll get these colored. All right, so see how simple this is. We're just going to bring these colors out. Now, normally if these flowers were bigger, obviously we would, but these are so small, you could just kind of flick it with your, hit the center part of the flower here and get it what we want the look to look, All right, so we got all those. I think we do. All right, so that was Highland Heather Dark. So let's try Fresh Freesia Light. Let's see what that does and see if that makes a difference. So look at that. See? So we're just going to come in with that color and pull out. And we're just going to go around and get all of these covered up. And then we'll come back with our green, do our leaves. So we're just going to come in, and that's all we're doing is just kind of pulling the ink out. Now stay with me because I want you to see the other card. It's absolutely beautiful. So don't go anywhere. All right, let's see. We got to come over here. This is probably a little monotonous of a stamp to use for a class, but I thought I wanted to show you how we can just add this little color and how it looks. Now I went outside the edges there, but that's right. We'll fix it. Okay. Now, isn't that pretty? I think that, it just really makes it pop. All right, so let's go ahead and bring in our granny apple, and we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. We're going to come in with our dark, and we're going to do the centers. We're going to go up those little veins that we have. So we want to come here, and we're going to go here really dark, go about halfway. Now, this is our stem, right? So we want to be careful, but we just want to get enough of ink to go up to the bottom part of these little flowers, right? And then we're going to come in here with the dark, and then we're going to just keep doing that. And we'll come back in with the light, and we're going to do the same thing. Let's see, this is green. I'm just making little dots to get through, and then we'll come up. And this is going to look really pretty. I want to get a little bit of dark right there. And we got these, see how the vines are coming? So we just want to make sure we get that. And get these. Now this is teeny tiny here. All right, so we want to bring that in. Okay. And the same thing, we're just going to come in. Oh, we missed some right there. See, that's the one thing about when you come in and do your leaves, you'll get to see where you missed the ones that you forgot to color, right? So we'll come back, and I can see right there I missed a flower. So we'll come back and do that after we get our green done because we don't want this to dry too much. And then we'll adjust it. All right, and then we have our stems again. So we want to come up, stay in our leaf, and then we have these right here. Yeah. All right. So, all right, we good? Okay. So let's do let's finish the leaves while that's somewhat, it's not quite dry, but enough to, we can still move it, and then we'll come back and fix those flowers. Now see how you can see the depth? If you add a little bit more pressure on the inside and make it darker, then it's going to show that this is like more light shining on it. So it gives it that effect. There's light shining on that petal or leaf, if you will. Yeah, I'm gonna get my other granny apple. All right, so don't let me forget, I gotta color these right here. All right, got that little bunch. Now, isn't that pretty? All right, so we're gonna put that there. Now I gotta come in, I think that's, I've got this guy here. We got this one. All right, so I need to come in and fix those guys. This one is green, and I need to color those. Okay, we got all the green? Looks that way. All right, let me come in with the, oh my gosh, I'm not even sure. Let's do the fresh freesia. I think that might be this one, yeah. Color these right here that we missed, and these right here. Somehow I skipped right over those guys, but that's okay. We're getting them. And then I didn't color that green. Is there anything else that I missed? Right here. Oh, got a green one. Okay. And come back with our light. Hang on a minute. This is the dark. Yeah, we need dark for the stem. Whoopsie. Oh, that's not good. My granny apple just came apart. Let's see if we can get them in there. So we need her. She needs to work. I have my extra one in the other room, but that's okay. I'll pull it out. It should work. Hang on a minute. I just need to do one little tip. All right. I'm going to try to do it with the fat tip. Hopefully I don't mess this up. Whoops, that's the dark, isn't it? Yep, it's dark. We don't want dark. We want the light. Sorry about that. Okay. I'm going to color that guy. What? There was something else. Oh, right here was the vine. No, we got that one. There was one other little vine that I missed. Oh, here it is. Right here. See all those right there? We missed those. They're so tiny. I think that's good. Here's, okay. I think that's good. All right. Okay, we're getting close to being done here, everybody. All right, so the next thing we need to do now is we need to, I just realized, oh, there it is. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and add this to here. So we're going to put this on our square, and we'll go ahead and add this with adhesive, and we're just going to pop that down on the square. So we're just going to lay it like that for now, okay? And then, all right, that one, we're going to now attach it. And I'm going to lay it flat, but we're going to turn it at an angle. So we want our corners to go up, right? So we're going to go ahead and add this at an angle. This will go in a card, into an envelope, I mean. All right, so we're going to go ahead and lay this down and adhere this. And then we're going to do the sentiment. And then I'll show you this last card that I've already done. And look at how beautiful it is. And then again, you just want to line this at a diagonal, like a diamond or whatever, and go edge to edge. All right. And then now we're going to stamp our sentiment, and I'm going to use Petunia Pop. And we're going to make this a, hope this is a feeling better kind of day. All right. And we're going to stamp that right about here. Okay. And that's a little mushy. So let's do it on this side and see. Let's do like that. I know that was supposed to be, I like that one better. Okay, so we're going to put this away. And then we're just going to take our paper snips. I'm just going to cut this at an angle. That's all I'm going to do. And we're going to put this on dimensionals, and we'll pop that up inside our sentiment. And then we'll add some bling. Just a minute, Rai. And make sure you get your card open the way it needs to go. So we're going to put these on here. And this is a beautiful card. All right, so we're going to put that right here. And then we've got some of these elements from one of the paper pumpkin kits. So whenever you, if you order a paper pumpkin kit, make sure you keep all your embellishments, because they will come in handy to use on other projects. So I'm going to pull in these pink ones, and we're just going to attach a couple of these. I'm going to put one up here, put one down here, and then I think I'll take one and put right about here. Kind of gives me my triangle. All right, so those are those. Let's move this over here. All right, so that's the card for this one. All right, let me bring back the other card that we made. Hang on a minute. All right, so here's the other card. So we've got both of those. Put these right here. Oops. All right, and hang on a minute. Let me see if I can get back. There we go. All right, so there you go. There's your square card, and you've got room to put your sentiment or decorate the inside. And of course, this one we've got. All right, and then look at this one. Okay, so this one right here, this is absolutely gorgeous. I have not done anything with this or these four right there. This one, I'm going to show you what I did. This I used a piece of basic, thick basic white. It's 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. Now I stamped this in the black, and then we took Poppy Parade, and you come in and use the dark. Okay, can you see the dark? You can see how the shadows on the petals. And then we came back in and did a little bit of real red right in the center where the petal line, the veins are, I guess. And then we came back with light Poppy Parade and did on the outside. So that shows like kind of it going from dark into a lighter mode. Then we use Shaded Spruce Dark, and then use the light towards the end of the leaves. So you can see that as well. See how it's really dark there, and then we use the light shade, and it comes out. So you can see it all the way around. See how this is dark? We did a little bit of red in that too. We did the dark poppy, a little bit of real red, light, and then we came back in with light pumpkin. I'm sorry, Poppy Parade, and then this is stamped in Poppy Parade. Isn't that gorgeous? I've put this on a piece of Shy Shamrock, and then the white on top of this. Now this one, the stamp is so big, so all you're doing is you're stamping. This is one part, and then you re-ink it and stamp it, and then this is the same thing. You've just flipped it over, flipped it around on the card. Isn't that gorgeous? So these are the 3 cards that you can make using this set. Isn't this something? I just love this. You're going to see more cards made from these. So I just want to share this with you all. So don't forget, this is a free stamp set 3 celebration with a $120 purchase in my online store. And I hope you enjoyed these. Leave me some comments and let me know if you like what you see. Oh, Karen says I'm frozen. Oh, Lord. If you like what you saw, please make sure you share it with your friends and family. I greatly appreciate it. And I'll be back on Friday at 12 o'clock for our Fundamental Friday. So have a great week, everyone. Stay warm. I know it's cold everywhere in the world, everywhere and where we are. And I will see you on Friday. And then next Tuesday, we'll be back for our next live 7 p.m. All right, everyone. Thanks again. I really appreciate you watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye now.